What's up, guys? Time to show off a new Kraken build. This is also in a new case. It might look like a case I've used before because it is very similar to a 650 case. But this is actually an 020 case. And the reason you can tell that is it has the rounded area from the bottom in between the lugs, whereas the 650 is straight across. So essentially that is the only difference that I have been able to find on it, because the crown, the stem lengths are the same, what bezels will fit are the same, everything else is the same. So an 020, so it should be the first one. I know that I have done a mod before with a Vostok dial in an 020 case before. I'm like 99% positive. Years ago I did one, but I've not done a custom dial build with one. So 020 case, this is a brushed case, and you have a lasered steel Kraken dial in there, and we got all kinds of cool coloration lasering it. So you got some blues in there, you got some greens in there, you got some purples and pinks in there, and then that's backside loomed. We did the same thing with the insert. That came out into more like blues and these really cool kind of like orangish brown kind of color. Kraken there at the top. Minute insert. And it just depends on what angle you look at it, whether you get to see all that or not. It kind of looks like some of those metal foil cards that Flair did back in like 1995, if you are a card guy. So if you remember the Flair cards, gives you that look because you have all these little, like, it almost looks like this glittery finish in there, but you know, we obviously didn't add glitter or anything like that. But yeah, if you're familiar with Flair by Fleer, they did a lot of cards that kind of had this kind of sheen to them. So turned out pretty awesome. So 020 case, we have a small coin bezel on there, matching insert and dial, a set of silver PloProf hands on there, a Kraken engraved crown, a Kraken engraved milled caseback, and then that engraving kind of gave us some cool coloration in there too, some purple, some blue. And then this is a 20 mil case. Then I just grabbed the coolest looking strap I had for it. So we've got a nice dark brown, kind of the edges are a little bit lighter, with a dark, I guess it's darker brown stitching on here, with a pre-V buckle. So kind of a classier version with a nice little pop. Like I said, straight on you might not really see anything, but when you get it in the light, you can really see that pop on there. Bezel on it will turn left, it'll turn right. This is just the tension ring bezel. It is brought in a bit, so you shouldn't accidentally bump it to like turn it, but if you do, it's real easy to set it right back. Automatic mechanical, you've got a rotor in here you just cannot see. If you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit, because if your rotor's not moving around, you're not going to keep time. You will back the crown off the threads until you can hear it and feel it clicking, and at that point you can wind. And a wind is a turn away from you. Turning it towards you won't wind it. It'll make the click like it does, but it won't wind. But I like to go back and forth. That keeps me from exactly what I did there, going right onto the thread tubes. I can back it right back off, rather than doing this. I mean, I guess you can just go the reverse, but I'm just so used to this. Do this for 4 or 5 seconds. That mixed with the rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. If you do it for something closer to like 15 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. A mechanical watch, you'll hit a limit, and it'll just won't go any further. With this, you can wind all day if you want. It just won't accept any more input once it is at full wind. When you're good with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so your second hand's going to keep going. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown here. This deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not putting any adverse pressures on anything. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 12:29 p.m.
12:29 p.m. When you're good, you're going to push it over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. That is the build. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. We were able to actually find some nice ones that match. Match your strap, match your case, match your dial. This is going to come in a silver 3D printed Kraken treasure box. This is going to come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts. So everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as your microfiber. You're also going to get some leather conditioner to keep that strap perfectly soft. If you ever feel that it's not, apply it on the front and back with a rag. Don't use one of your microfibers. Let it soak in and remove any excess. And a little bit will go a very long way. You should be back to being soft after that. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like Polywatch, and it's for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it. But if you do, you'll put a tiny bit of this on it, just a tiny, and you'll buff it out with your color matching microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch, haze it, and buff it, and it should be gone. And if it's not, just revisit it after a few minutes. Make sure that that solidifies before you go working on it again, because you can pull out what you've just put in. And then just for reference, because I didn't think of it, I might want to show off the little bit of loom here. This is the backside loom dial, so we laser out the indices going on around it. And there you go. That is the build. If it's going to you, congrats. This will be available in the waffle today. I believe it's July 12th. One of the options on there at 21 a spot. So if it's going to you, congrats. I hope you love it. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.